into my eyes. Do you see fear? You come at me with sword and spear, but I come in the name of the God of Israel. Yes! Right between the eyes! Did you see that? Anyone? Of course not. Okay then, one more time. Tally, not now! I'm trying to protect us from this Philistine. Whoa! No, not that way! Come on! Back to your mom. Right, Philistine. Oh, wait! Right between the eyes. Oh, of course. That one you saw. Tally! Tally, no! I'm coming, girl! Whoa, easy! Shira! I will bring her home safely. Wait, no! There you go. I'm almost in. Okay. Oh! Tally, stop! No! Oh, that doesn't help. That does. Stop. Thank you. 할래니 נפשי ישובב ינחני במגע לצדק למען שמו.
What you have just watched is a concept short for a musical animated feature film on the story of David, and our vision is to tell it in the same quality as movies like Tangled and Frozen. This is more than a movie. This is a movement to join people from all over the world to try and make the world's most watched animated theatrical release. You can show your interest in investing by going to angel.com/David. Growing up in the wild of Africa was the most incredible experience, and it was there that I bumped into the most amazing character of God and fell in love with him. At the same time, I was reading David's story, and it just really struck me. On one particular canoe trip on the Zambezi River, where you could canoe for days and not see a human being, I was reading the scriptures and I read, "I found in David, son of Jesse, a man after my own heart." And I thought how amazing it would be to do a film that would give people all over the world a glimpse into God's heart. We grew up on a farm that had no electricity. I only saw my first film when I was 14 years old, and it was such an electric experience. I was blown away by the power of film and the power of story to connect with people and move people. And from that day, I became passionate to tell a story on the life of David. The question is, can a group of farmers from Africa make a global hit that's going to reach the world? This is in and of itself an incredible David versus Goliath story.
There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And in order to tell a story as big as David, we need people from all around the world to come together.
Over the last 20 years, Jackie and I have just been blown away by how God has miraculously drawn talent to us. Now we have the most awesome, high-quality team.
Like Nathan Stanton, who spent 22 years at Pixar, Jonas Myron, a Grammy Award-winning musician, Borja Montoro, a Disney animation alumni, other talent from massive films like Big Hero 6, Tangled, Finding Nemo, Zootopia, Moana, Prince of Egypt, and many more.
Our first breakout hit is Jungle Beat, an incredible and beautiful show. On our YouTube channel, we get over 2 billion views a year. We've got 7 million subscribers. We also recently released our first animated feature film called Jungle Beat the Movie. And incredibly, it was on Netflix's top 10 for over 2 weeks, both live action and animated feature films in the US. We are also doing a theatrical release of Jungle Beat the Movie in China later this year, and are in production of Jungle Beat the Movie 2. What really excites me is if you take Jungle Beat the Movie, we produced that for $5 million. And I'd really encourage you to go and watch it on Netflix to see the quality of movie we produce for that price. And just imagine the quality of movie we could produce on David with the proper budget. With David, we considered the route of engaging with Hollywood, and there is significant interest down that route. But we really felt that from a creative point of view, we need to stay the head and not the tail of this project. And it's a slingshot, like David went with a slingshot to fight Goliath. We really believe that the strategy needs to be outside the Hollywood system for it to work. In this vein, we are thrilled to be working with Angel Studios for distribution. Angel Studios did the TV series The Chosen, which has become the world's biggest TV series on the life of Jesus Christ. The Chosen has generated hundreds of millions of views and tens of millions of dollars. We've already got $19 million of investments and need another $35 million to complete this project. We need your help to bring God's heart to the world through the story of David. Go to angel.com/David to show your support for this project now. And let's join together to try and make the world's most watched animated theatrical release.
Good evening, everyone. I am Brent Dawes. I'm the writer and one of the directors on the David feature film. And I'd like to welcome you all to this evening. And I wanted to let you know up front that if what I've got to say is not engaging and interesting enough, we've got a special video message from Kirk Cameron, who found out about the project, loved it, and he sent us a little video message. I'm going to save that to the end, so you've got to stay until then to get to watch that. But we're so grateful that the project is attracting such interest, and so grateful to Kirk for sending that message through. And yeah, so I'm going to hopefully entertain you enough until that point, but you've got that to look forward to. We have raised nearly $3.5 million already, which has just been incredible. It's been such an amazing response to this project. And I've got another little treat for you, that if we can hit 3.5 million during this live stream, I'm going to tell you a little behind the scenes story about someone in our studio, which involves, it's a story about a tattoo, and you're going to want to hear this story. It's quite spectacular. So so if you can start pledging, I'll try and call out the pledges as I see them coming in, and we're going to see if we can cross that $3.5 million mark this evening. That would be amazing. Please also like, share, and comment on whichever platform that you're watching from. It'll be, thank you, Teresa. We are $100 closer to a tattoo story in Jessica, $250 closer. You guys, like, forget the movie. The tattoo story is worth it. Joking. The movie is well worth it too. So again, yeah, please like, share, and comment on whichever platform that you're watching. The more eyes that we can get on this. I can't see a live count of how many people. I'm anticipating we've got a couple of 100,000 so far, so that's wonderful. Joking again. And just to let you know, what I'm talking about tonight is going to be based on performance and storytelling through character animation. It's a passion of mine, and it's a thing that sort of also fascinates people. It's like, how do you bring these animated characters to life? And before I talk about David, well, let me actually remind you, if you want to invest, go to angel.com/David. That's where you can go and invest, and there it is up on the screen. Thank you, Angel Studios, for that. Before we talk about David, I want to tell you a bit of a story about a monkey, because it's actually very relevant. How does a monkey impact David? I will tell you. About 18 years ago or so, it was when we decided to go into computer-generated animation. The first project that we did was a stop-motion animation. I animated on that project for 18 months, and my knees and my back killed me by the end of it, and we thought, this is not the best way to make movies. Surely there's a more comfortable way. So we went into computer animation, and we wanted to jump straight into another feature film. We thought we could just go straight there. Thank you, Shelby. We're also so hyped for this. It's so exciting. But we thought, before we go straight into a feature film, let's test whether or not we can do computer animation. We were operating in Zimbabwe at the time, and there were two animators there working for a little studio that I had worked with when I was in advertising, and I was like, well, let's partner with these guys and see what we can do. And the goal of the exercise was to really challenge them and see how far they could push computer animation and whether or not we could actually do feature film quality. So I was set the task of writing a little short, and I thought, well, what's difficult in computers to do? And this is like 18 years ago, so things were a lot harder back then. And I thought, well, fur is hard, water is hard, smoke, all these things. And I thought, well, okay, well, what's furry? I was like, a monkey. What else is hard? Smoke. I was like, okay, well, maybe there's this monkey and he wakes up and smoke comes out of his mouth because it's cold. I was like, oh, great idea. The monkey wakes up and it's snowed all around and he thinks his mouth is on fire because he's never seen this. And to cut a long story short, I ended up writing this story, and we made this short about a monkey and the weather. And that was all it was ever intended to be, was just a test to see whether we could do stories in computer animation. We made it. The guys did an amazing job with it, and we took it to a few festivals, and people really responded to it. And a distributor saw it and spoke to Phil, who's the company owner and the co-director on the movie, and he said, have you got more of these? Because if you do, I could sell them. And Phil, being the businessman, entrepreneur, and visionary that he is, he's like, yes, yeah, of course, we're planning to do more. Let's meet tomorrow and I'll tell you all about it. And he phoned me and he's like, Brent, I need more ideas. We're going to do a series of these. And I was like, okay. And I came up with a bunch of ideas. A giraffe bumps his head on the moon. A frog loses his voice and has to catch it, and like all sorts of things like that. And that's where Jungle Beat was born. It was just meant to be a test animation to see how we could cope with that. And it ended up being a series. And fast forward 18 years, we released the Jungle Beat, the movie, last year. And it turns out that it was the ideal training ground for us in terms of getting our feet wet with computer animation, doing a lot of visual storytelling, because Jungle Beat, the show, is no dialogue. So we really got fitter at computer animation, at physical storytelling through character, and it really feels like it was our time in the wilderness. It was our time in the same way that David spent his formative years shepherding his sheep and fighting lions and bears. It feels like God brought Jungle Beat into our lives to help us to prepare ourselves by killing the lion and the bear, so that we could take on Goliath, which this David movie is our Goliath, and it's not an intimidating thing for us. I don't believe David was intimidated when he went out to face Goliath. I think he had a peace about him because he knew it wasn't about him. It was about God through him, and that's how we're feeling about this movie as well. So the monkey, super relevant to David. I just want to read Jennifer's comment here. I want the baby sheep as a stuffed animal so bad. Me too. And we keep getting that comment. We are definitely going to have to do that. And I can't wait to see the amazing movie. Me too. But I guess we've got to make it first. So just to carry on talking about Jungle Beat the movie just briefly, and then I'm going to hop onto David. But again, just to remind you that you can go to angel.com/David to invest. And also a reminder that if we cross 3.5 million, I get to tell you my amazing tattoo story. And also stick around because we've got such a wonderful video message from Kirk Cameron coming at the end. So the thing about animation is, if you're making a live action movie, you cast a character, Chris Hemsworth or Scarlett Johansson or whoever, and that person embodies the role of the character they're playing, and they're responsible for it all the way through. And the director just has an engagement with this one person being that character. In animation, it takes a whole team to make a performance come alive. Yes, we cast, and we get a voice actor to give voice to the character and to lead and infer what the character should be doing, but that's only half the story. So it absolutely comes down to the voice actor delivering a performance, but then that needs to be brought to life by a team, not just one animator, not two or three. If you consider a whole movie, there are a couple of thousand shots, and the main characters show up many times in many shots. So you've got a multitude of people that are touching the character on a performance point of view, as well as a cloth and a hair and a lighting point of view. So it's a whole team that really needs to work together. And the job of the director, and in tandem with the animation director and animation supervisors, is to try and bring a clear vision for this character, and for all of the characters actually, so that it feels like you're watching the same person throughout the show. And the other challenge with it is the fact that with live action, you're on set and you can say, okay, let's shoot this shot, and you go and it's like, oh, it wasn't quite right, let's go again, and within half an hour, you've got 6 or 7 takes that you can choose from. But it takes a good couple of weeks to do, a really great 5-second shot in animation. So we don't get to go again and again and again, and it takes a long time. So we need to be very intentional and really understand what each shot is supposed to bring to the table. So one of the ways that we do this is by me showing you a little video, because I'm going to repeat myself if I say it now. So we did a little featurette during the Jungle Beat the movie to help explain what I am talking about right now. And I'm going to ask the Angel guys to play that, and I will see you on the other side. So in animation, there's not just one animator that works on each character. There's a whole bunch of animators, and they will work on multiple characters. So in making Jungle Beat the movie, where the voice actor is one voice actor being Monkey, we've got a lot of different people animating Monkey. And so the challenge is to make sure that Monkey feels like Monkey all the way through the movie. Oftentimes, there's description in the script, the voice actor gives a performance that the animators can listen to, but they can't quite picture what it is that I'm wanting, so I do video reference.
What do you mean, no?
Brent's director's notes, video notes, are usually him making a fool of himself. For the greater cause, obviously.
Words!
There's so many little nuanced emotions and actions that we do That really comes out in the reference videos when we try and act out a shot.
Peace.
Those little details are really what sells the shot in the end.
Amazing. Amazing.
Doing video reference gives the animator something really tangible to latch onto.
Amazing. 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 Amazing.
In my office, there's a big glass window, and while I'm busy acting, I'll look down and people in the studio are just watching me laughing.
Amazing. 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 Wait. Now it's sounding weird.
That can be a bit disconcerting.
Yeah, that's very disconcerting.
So there's a whole stack of videos that Brent has recorded of himself acting like a complete maniac all alone in his office, that the animators then take and have turned it into this work of beauty.
The reference videos that Brent was making for the animators, they were obviously really helpful to them, and I think they took a sense of joy out of them as well, which came through in the work. So they've been invaluable in that sense.
That's the shiniest thing I've ever seen.
So as you can see, animation is a very serious business. I do love my job. It's wonderful to be able to do. And before I carry on chatting, I just want to remind you, you can go ahead and invest at angel.com/David. And also to remind you to hang about for a special video message from Kirk Cameron, which is going to happen at the end. And just, oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for that $1,000 investment. I'm nervous to say your name. Josu. Thank you so much. That's so wonderful. And if we cross the $3.5 million barrier, then I get to tell you this incredible tattoo story that I have. I'm sure you're all wondering what on earth could be so fascinating about a tattoo. Well, you have to wait and see. So Jungle Beat was our training ground, and it was just an amazing gift to us that we had never sort of planned, but it just sort of worked out that way, and it feels like a project that has led us along more than us leading it, and it's brought us to this point of being confident in the tools that we have and able to bring David to life. But human animation is a whole nother story. Thank you, Taylor, for the $100. Thank you so much, guys. We just love, and as Phil says, anyone who's investing is absolutely joining our team. It's not just money that you're putting in and we forget about you. You're absolutely part of our story now. This is a community that we're trying to build, and we just love that you're joining this community. So yeah, the human animation. We are also familiar with one another. We look at people all day. We can see nuance in performance. We can see nuance in delivery, and we really understand what a human looks like. So when you get to human animation, it ramps up the complexity level of trying to bring across emotion without feeling weird. There's this thing called uncanny valley. When you start animating human characters, it can feel, we just know when something's off. So it's a real challenge to bring that about in a human character. And we just really feel that all these years of doing physical animation with Jungle Beat has just allowed us to really understand motion and movement and bring that now into this feature film. And I wonder, Angel Studios, I didn't prep you guys on this, so I'm going to give you a few seconds head start. If you could find in the demo the shot where David is against the cliff face, looking nervous, and the sun shines on him. If you can't find it, that's no problem. If you do find it, let me know and we can play it. But oh, super! They've just told me they have it, so that's fantastic. Just pause for a second, and I'll tell you when to play it. There's a real interesting challenge that we have in this movie, in that one of our main characters is invisible. You know, God is absolutely a character in this movie, but he's not a character in the same way that he was in The Prince of Egypt, where he actually shows up in a pillar of fire or anything like that. He is a presence in the film. You know, this is a story of David and his faith, So how do we show God without showing God? And so the shot that we're going to show you now, the brief to the animator is, okay, so David, he's feeling anxious, he's feeling afraid, and then the peace that passes understanding comes over him. And like, how do you do that? You know, and again, just talking about the team that works together to make that work. It's about the animator really understanding that. It's about the lighting team bringing their tools to it, the dynamics team allowing the wind, the music, and all of those things working together to allow us to watch this character and to believe what he's actually feeling and what he's going through. So if you guys could play that shot, that would be fantastic. Oh, not that shot. So I'm going to just let them see if they can find it. But this is, it's way later. It's when he's on the cliff. Here we go. We can just let this play. Okay. And you can really just see David's spirit being lifted through that shot. And I think we can stop there and come back to me. That shot took probably, I can't remember exactly, but I'm going to say a month. And it was just, it was an animator called Amila Puala. She did such an amazing job of capturing this moment where David turns. And that is what we're trying to do with the human animation, is we don't want to hit you over the head with it. We want you to be watching and drawn in and really just feel what the character is feeling, and feel like it's honest. Thank you, Kurt, for the $100. It's so wonderful to see these pledges coming in. And just to remind you, you can go to angel.com/David to do your investments. And also, just as a by the way, if anyone out there has got any questions for me about what I'm talking about, or about the project, or about investment, please send them through, and at the end we'll bring up some questions. I've got a couple of other little videos lined up to show some of the animation reference for the short. But what actually happened more in the short that we did is the animators did their own reference animation, because they love taking ownership of their shots. They love feeling like they are the performer, because effectively the animators are our actors, you know. But I don't have any of those, so you're going to see a little bit more of me again. And this first, and it's interesting to see which shots you need reference for. So it can be, so whether it's for David or a sheep. This first one is for a sheep called Gibor. And the animator wanted to know, well, how do I want him eating this grass? And I said, well, it needs to be in a comical way. And he's like, well, can you do me video reference? And sometimes I just wonder if they get me to do it because they want me to see me make a fool of myself. But there's a clip here of me showing him how to do the chewing. And if you look at the end of the clip, I look up and I can see the producer is watching me from across the room, and he's caught me doing the thing. So I'm going to play the little clip. You'll see the reference, and then you'll see the animation result afterwards. You can go ahead and play that, please. Yeah. So unfortunately, that playback of the sheep is actually a little bit slower, but yes, that is me channeling my inner sheep and chewing. Again, I say I do love my job. It's really fantastic. And again, I just want to remind you to stick around till the end for a special video message from Kirk Cameron, and also my tattoo story, depending on what we're $100 closer to the tattoo story, people. Let's keep going. Thank you so much for that. Then we've got another shot where David is walking back. Oh, wow, John, thank you so much for the $1,000. I think, yeah, we're going to thank John for pushing us over the line for our story. David is walking back, having rescued Tali. And just as a by the way, Tali, that's the name of the little lamb. I researched Hebrew names, and Tali actually means my lamb or my dew, as in dewdrops. So her name is really appropriate for her, which I love. And her mom, the sheep that is panicking at the top, is called Shira, and that means song or poem, which I think is also really lovely and relevant for David. So we've got this shot where David is carrying Tali in his wrap, and later the guy who actually animated did his own reference for it. So you'll see him, his name is Greg, but we didn't have a lamb, so someone in the studio had a little dog, so no dogs were harmed in the in the filming of this. But you'll see some of the challenges that they also face trying to do reference, because it's a dog is not as compliant as as we would have liked. So you'll see him struggling a little bit with it, but then we'll show you the shot after. So here we go. He's just trying to figure out how would David...
No, it wasn't like... I don't think... Okay. We might need to do it without a dog in there.
And in the book, it's a little for yeah, and as I'm watching this, I'm just reminded, it's so much work goes into an animated movie, and people you just sit back and watch and enjoy, but it's so much time, effort, passion, energy that goes in really trying to make this come to life and really trying to tell the story. The next little clip I'm going to show is partly it's just really fun. Thank you, Bonnie, for the $100. So this again is a clip of me. There's the moment straight after what we've just watched. David is exhausted after walking all this way back, and Shira lifts her head and nuzzles him. And I got my son to help me. I'm in the wrong career field, man. Sorry, Paloma, it's never too late. If we're inspiring you, it's never too late to follow your passion. So the next clip I'm going to show you is I got my son to help me be the sheep. But the focus was on my performance. And then after I got that, then I did what I wanted the mother sheep to do. And then the animator put both of those together and did the shot. So if we could have a watch of that one, please.
Oh, sorry. Go. I'll tell you when. Wait, go down. And go from a little bit further back. There, okay. Cool. And wait. Okay. Cool.
Oh, this is playing in slow motion as well for some reason, but okay, but you get the idea. So it's I just love it. It's just so much fun. I love the fact that I got to do that with my son. He was thrilled, to be a part of it. And it's just amazing, even watching those clips and remembering back to when we made that. I just want to double check, am I coming across okay? I'm looking very laggy to myself. Okay, I'm a little laggy, but it's okay, and hopefully you can hear me okay. And again, just to say, if you inspired by what you're seeing and you want to be at this project and join the community that is helping us to bring this to life, then go to angel.com/David. And we just love you to be a part of this team. It's been an amazing ride so far, and we've got a long way to go, but it's going to be an amazing ride going forward as well. And those of you who have stuck it out, I've got another treat that I didn't tell you about. Rajesh, thank you so much for the $150. And Jeffrey for the $1,000. Thank you so much. It's so wonderful. We've been discussing how much do we show people, how much can we say, with character designs, bits of story, or this and that. But I checked with the producer today that I could show this one little clip. It's not a character design, it's just me doing an animation reference. But it is for a character called King Achish. He is the king of the Philistines. His character design is spectacular. I love it so much, but I can't show you, I'm afraid, unless we get to $5 million right now. I'm joking. Although, I probably would show you for that. So the character is King Achish, and the moment is, so if you can imagine the confidence and the arrogance that the king of the Philistines would have, knowing that he's got Goliath on his side that the Israelites don't know about. So the little bit of animation reference that I'm going to show you now is the moment when Achish is saying to King Saul, the king of the Israelites, that let's let our best warriors fight, but the Achish character, and this is the wonderful thing about animation as well, is we can play, we can do things larger than life. So you'll see that Achish doesn't have the best poker face, but I think this is just wonderful. You'll need to also excuse the fact that my hair is a bit messy. It was during lockdown, and you'll see I'm in my bedroom doing this as well. So the coronavirus thing has not stopped us making this movie. So let's have a look at this little clip here.
What do you say, Saul? Your best warrior against mine.
Being in an empty room and talking to a screen, not being able to see how people respond to that is a bit disconcerting, but I found myself smiling at that. I think it's just so delightful and fun, and gives just an idea of some of the tone that's going to be coming across in the movie. Thanks so much, Andrea. It's lovely being able to share this project with all of you. If you can imagine, we've been going for about 5 years now on this project since the first script was written, and we've been having to be quiet about it. So it's wonderful being able to share it with people and talk about it, and just to hear people's feedback and to know that we're doing something that is meaningful and is really speaking to people's hearts is just a wonderful thing. So we're approaching the end of what I've got to say. If there's any questions, feel free to put them up now. Maybe we can check how much the investment has reached by this point and see how close we are to this tattoo story. And also, people, we're not there yet. We're not there. You better get them in quick. I don't know if I should just tell this tattoo story anyway, having built it up so much. I think I probably will. But any questions, feel free to put them on screen now. Otherwise, we're getting close to the promised Kirk Cameron video as well. And just a reminder to go to angel.com/David to invest and become a part of this community that is helping make this really special project come to life. And I think I'm just going to have to dive in. And I haven't run this past the dude whose story it is. So what does it mean to be part of the team? I can interpret that in a few ways. What does it mean to me to be a part of the team? Or what does it mean for one to be a part of the team? So for me, it's an absolute privilege and a pleasure to be a part of this team. Not a day goes by that I take for granted the position that I'm in and the blessing that it is to be a part of this team and to tell this story. And when I've been talking about those of you investing, being part of our team, it's you are helping to be responsible for bringing this movie to life and to the world. You know, we can't do it without you. Every little investment helps bring more pixels onto screen, helps us complete another shot, helps us bring another character to life. And what I love absolutely about the Angel Studios model is that it's not just you guys are giving money and you get to see the end result. You're really investing. You're becoming an investor on the project, and will actually see if the project is profitable. You will see recruitment in your investment. What can you tell us about the female characters in David's story? Oh, Andrea, that is a really interesting question, because on the biblical side of things, a lot of the female characters that came across David's path were wives, and we've spoken a lot about that. It's like, is that a path we want to go down or not? And so I'm not sure how much I can say about the story, but what I can say is we're paying a lot of attention to who are the female characters in the movie, what is their story, what is the message they're bringing. Certainly I can say that David's mother is a key character in his life and a key influence to him. David's little sister, he's got two sisters in the Bible, one called Abigail, and I can't remember the other name offhand. She plays a big role as well. There are a couple of other female characters that come in, but we're aware that this is quite a male-dominated story, but we're taking care to pay attention to that fact. Yeah, and I think I was losing track. I think I was going to start telling you about Karen. For that $150, I'm going to tell you a story about a tattoo. There's this guy called Charles who is part of our team. And I was just saying earlier to the Angel guys, we've got to get him on a live stream, because he is just the most wonderful, boisterous personality. And he is director of photography for us and is one of our cinematographers. And he came to the studio one day last year. And I was like, Charles, what is that on your leg? And he lifted up his shorts. And tattooed on his leg is my name, Phil's name, and a number of other names. Not small. Maybe you can bring up the photo. And this is permanent tattoo on his leg. You can see my name down there, Brent Dawes, then Phil Cunningham, who's the studio owner. And I was like, Charles, what on earth have you done? And he has tattooed on his leg the names of all the people who have had a meaningful impact in his career. And he says, and it goes in order of who was the first person that had an influence, then who was the next, and what have you. So I'm quite pleased to be down at the bottom there, because when his shorts are down, you can still see my name. But isn't that just spectacular? I think that's just the most amazing thing that he's gone and done this. So now I've probably piqued your interest that you actually really have to meet this guy, Charles. I hope he's not upset with me for telling that story, because I didn't tell him I was going to tell it. But there you go. We didn't cross the 3.5 million, but maybe the story is enough to make you feel like opening your wallets and pitching in. Okay. Question. I'm going to do this question. If another one comes in, great. And then we can get to the message from Kirk Cameron. How detailed will the animation in this movie be? i.e. complex human animation, realistic lighting, realistically animated environments, etc. So we don't want it to be photoreal. I can say we are operating in the zone of Frozen, Tangled, Moana, where we wanted to feel. However, the two movies that I've been speaking about is the Prince of Egypt coupled with those Disney movies, because what the Prince of Egypt has is just this sort of real sense of authenticity. You feel like you can feel the dust, even though it's 2D. It's got this amazing cinematic quality to it, and we really want David to have that feel as well. So it's not realistic. Otherwise, we'd probably be doing it live action. We want to be able to use what animation affords us. Much grander and more animated expressions. But the lighting, and again, it will be it will be realistic in that it will act in the correct way, i.e. bounced lighting and what have you, but it won't be feeling like the real world. Again, otherwise we'd probably be just be doing a live action. Okay, and here's the last question we're going to have from Corbin. Can his video notes be a part of the behind-the-scenes movie extras? Definitely. And believe that there's going to be a lot more of those. And what we'll do as well is we'll keep the performance takes of the animators as well that they do of themselves, because I think it's just wonderful to see the diversity of people that it takes to bring the characters to life. And I just love questions like that you guys are interested in behind the scenes, because it really is just such a wonderful thing to do and make and to be able to share with you. So I'm going to wrap that up now. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Again, just a reminder to go to angel.com/David if you'd like to invest. And as promised, I'm going to allow the Angel guys now to share this lovely video message from Kirk Cameron, and just to say thank you so much, Kirk, for taking the time out to do that and just expressing your own interest in our project. It really means a lot to us. Thank you, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. The end.
Hey, you guys, I just saw something and I am so excited to share this with you. Do you remember when I came out here a couple of years ago and I was talking about this great up-and-coming television show they were coming out with called The Chosen? Of course, now everybody knows about The Chosen. Everybody around the world is talking about it and loves it. Guess what? I just saw a brand new project that they're working on. The same studio that brought us The Chosen, Angel Studios, is partnering up with someone new to create an incredible new animated film about the life of David, as in King David, as in David and Goliath. So listen, I've been saying forever that we need to take back the media. Rather than complaining about a media that is dark and destructive, we need to create and promote a media culture of light and life. That's what revival looks like. Rather than the family of faith complaining, we need to get off the defense, get on the offense, and create the culture that we want. So this dream team duo of Angel Studios and this new production company have a vision to make an epic film with a powerful message that is going to be the most significant biblical animated film since DreamWorks made Prince of Egypt. And they want it to go toe-to-toe, stand shoulder to shoulder in terms of quality and entertainment value as films like Moana and Tangled. They have the skill and the ability to do it. They did it with The Chosen, and I believe they're going to do it again. And the cool thing about this is that they're even giving all of us as viewers the opportunity to become owners in the project, just like they did with The Chosen. You can invest in the project and even potentially get a return on the project. It's super cool. If you want to find out more about the David movie, go to angel.com/David. Oh, and by the way, I'm not getting paid 1 cent to say any of this. I'm just all in. I'm all in for the cause. I'm on the team for revival, and I want to let you know great things when they're happening. Make sure you watch the beautiful short version of the David movie on the website, angel.com/David.